morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Bryer Path. Just called the Bryer Path because my name's Bryer. Hi, I'm Bryer. You can call me Bryer. Now, in today's video, I thought I'd go over some tips for character performer auditions. Now, some of you may know that I am a character performer for this season of DCP Fall 2019. I did get the role of character performer, so I'm not an expert, but I can help. Also, for those of you who are watching this and are just thinking about becoming a character performer and you want to audition, make sure that you go on the Disney website where you can look up the Disney auditions, where they're at and what times, what dates, all that kind of stuff. That's really important to understand before you go and audition in some random location. Make sure you find out on the Disney audition site. Alright, so yes, I'm going to be doing some different character audition tips and tricks. Hopefully they help you out when you go. I wish you the best of luck. You're going to do great. I promise, no matter what happens, it's gonna be fun. Let us seize the day. Let's get into it. Stay calm. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna go okay. No matter how crazy it might seem right now and how scared you might be, it will be okay in the end, my dear child. But make sure you stay calm during it. It's gonna be fine. No matter what happens at audition, I promise you, you're gonna have a ton of fun. A lot of DCP YouTubers were telling me beforehand that I was gonna have such a fun time and I was gonna make a whole bunch of friends, and you're all liars. And then I got there, and of course I was having the best time of my life. I think it's one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. It's definitely the best audition I've ever been to in my entire life, so you're gonna have a great time. Alright, just to inform you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about what happens at the audition, and then I'm going to tell you how you can prepare for these things. Also, how to make the audition better and how to highlight yourself a little bit more, because that's important. Now, I do have to say this won't guarantee you a character performer position. However, it can help you to kind of highlight yourself a little bit, just so you might stand out above the crowd. Stand out above the crowd, even if I gotta shout out loud. I'm really into that song today. I don't know what it is. Alright, so in the auditions, are going to be two different stages. In the first stage of the audition, what happened was you had a parade march we had to do. So they choreographed a little parade march for us to do, which involves arms, heavy arms, but we also had to portray a character. So like for me, I pretended that I was Jack Skellington. So like I might have gone a little bit more with an extra reach a little bit, because the way he walked, it kind of reminded me more of a this. It kind of reminded me more of like a stretch like this when he would walk, instead of a... So they were asked to portray a different Disney character that you really enjoyed while you did the march. And after that phase is done in the audition, they're going to cut a whole bunch of people until they have about 50 people left. Now in stage 2, what's going to happen is going to have a choreographed dance and an animation. The choreographed dance is used to see how quickly you can pick something up when learning it just like that. So it's going to be really important at this time that you're paying attention to the people. That way you don't mess up any of the dance moves and you can have the best audition that you have when you actually go in to do it. At that time, you're also going to learn about the animation. The animation is going to be you going through different scenarios that they're going to present you with, and you're going to have to act it out. That way they can see how well you can tell a story through only your body and through movement. For our audition, what happened was they asked us to create a Monsters character from Monsters University or Monsters Inc., whatever one you like. So you had to create a monster and you had to go through 3 different doors, and you had to create scenarios in your head. And what your goal was to portray these scenarios the best you could. So for me, I was kind of like a wiggly boy, and I would burst through the first door and I was on a tightrope. So I was like trying to bounce. I bust through another door that was on the end of the tightrope, closed it, and I was in a baseball field, so we had to swing, better swing, and then I burst through another door, and I had to pretend that I was fly fishing, because that's the scenarios that I put in my own head. It's going to be about a minute long, so plan for it to be about a minute long, but also like make up your own thing. At the character performer auditions before in the spring, I believe they had them pretend that they were making toys, and the first round was them making the toy, and the second round was them being the toy. I'm also there's a common one that where you pretend to be either a zookeeper or an animal in a zoo getting cleaned. So you have to pretend to be these different things. That way you just kind of learn how to tell a story and how well someone can tell a story in there. Those 2 rounds are the only 2 rounds that are like really important, and they can get you a role if you get those 2 rounds. However, there is a secret 3rd round, but no one really talks about it because they only say there's only 2 rounds, but I'll tell you more about that in the future. One thing that's really important for all phases of it is going to be how big you are. This includes when you're marching, this includes when you're doing your animation, and also your choreographed dance. They do a good warm-up with you to help you realize how you have to actually move. Like if you are waving at someone from across the Grand Canyon, is an example they gave us. So pretend you were waving at someone, you wouldn't be like, hey, because they're across the Grand Canyon. You'd be like up in the air, jumping around, trying to get their attention the best you could. I almost kicked the table. A really good way to prepare for this is if you have a friend or family member go with you to the audition. Before you even go to the audition, there's a game called Ella's Heads Up. So Ellen's heads-up game really helped me out to help my animation. I also definitely used it for the different scenarios to burst through the door. Ellen's heads-up really helps mainly with the animation part of it because it helps you tell a story and see if people can guess it. So the better you are at animation, the casting directors will notice that and they'll write that down. Also, an important thing for the audition is wear good clothes. And what I mean by that is like wear comfortable clothes, not like fancy clothes. Wear like sweatpants. That's what I did. I wore sweatpants and then I wore just a t-shirt as well. That way you can maneuver around and you don't have to like be constrained by buttons or whatever if you're doing like a big movement, because you're gonna be doing a lot of that if you want to get through it. Before the audition even starts, I'd make sure that you get into a good, open, positive headspace before you even begin. Before you even walk up to the door, make sure that you're in a good headspace. That way you're more open and susceptible for anything that might happen to you. That way you can make new friends or you can get the choreography down faster. Just make sure that you're in a positive and not scared, really. Also, if you are open to making new friends, it'll make the audition process so much easier. For me, I had made 2 friends the day before at the hotel, and then also when I had gotten there, everyone that was there, I decided to make as many friends as I could, just so that way it was all positive vibes only, you know what I'm saying? Also, arrive as early as you can to the audition. It's gonna say that doors don't open up like before 30 minutes before the audition actually starts, but you can get there beforehand because early crew, I think, always makes friends. I think I got there 15 minutes before the doors even opened, and there was a circle of us that were outside. We were all talking about our like wanted roles, all that. We knew each other's names by the end of it. Everyone was just so friendly with each other that it was a great experience when we actually got inside and we were all ready. That way you all discover that you're all in the same boat and you're not so nervous anymore. You're all in this together. You're all in this together. Also, listen to the casting directors whenever they talk. If you're having a conversation with someone and you see a casting director is like about to speak, just say, hang on 1 second, we have something to listen to. It'll make it better for the both of you, and that way you know what's actually going to happen in the audition process. You wouldn't want to be talking with your buddy and then all of a sudden everyone's against the wall and you're not sure why, and you're standing there by yourself in the middle of a ballet hall, just like, oh, wow. Every single person you meet, casting directors and also fellow auditioners, be as kind as you can be to all of them. Like I said, you're all in it together, so if you're able to help them or even make friends with them, it'll make their experience better and your experience better as well. Also amp up your fellow auditioners. Like if they're about to go out and they're gonna do their choreographed dance or they're about to do a march, go like, all right guys, we got this. Give them high fives, whatever. If they're not comfortable with high fives, and a fist bump, whatever you wanna do, just amp them up. Just be like, you guys have got this. You guys are gonna be awesome. It'll be so much better for them. The casting directors are also going to notice whenever you do amp up these people. They'll say that you're a positive force instead of like a negative person, and they'll notice that and they'll probably write that down for you. Also, before the audition, make sure you do stretch because you're going to be doing a lot in those few hours that you're going to be there. You will be sweaty. I also wouldn't talk bad about anyone while you're there. I don't really like talking bad about people like in general. However, if you are going to talk bad about someone, wait for the audition to be done and you're going home talking to either your friends or your parents. Because like I said, the directors are always going to be watching you, so they'll notice if you're talking bad about someone or if you're bringing someone down. And plus, you can't really have a positive headspace if you're thinking negatively on someone else anyway, so it's easier to be in a positive headspace if you're thinking good thoughts about people instead of just thinking bad thoughts. And remember not to see this audition as a competition, but instead as an opportunity for everyone. If you're competing with people, again, you're not going to be in the right headspace and you'll be looking at other people, sizing them up instead of thinking about what you're going to do. Focus on yourself, but also amp up others. You're going to be stressed enough, I think you would appreciate it if someone else amped you up. So treat others how you would want to be treated. Make sure you're smiling almost the entire time that you can. If you're in an animation, you don't really have to smile if you're like portraying someone that's not happy, but if you're like doing the choreographed dance like we did Hairspray the musical, you have to smile the entire time no matter what you're doing. You had to smile. You always go, you can't stop an avalanche. Make sure you smile the entire time. It'd be kind of weird to see someone on a parade march that's frowning the entire time, unless it was in character. Stay focused, but also have fun. Just think about where you're at the current time. You're at a Disney audition. Like, how many people actually get to do that in their lives? So that way you always are focused on what you're gonna do, but also have fun with the people around you, but also have fun just in what you're doing. The directors will also notice if you are having fun from your smiling and what all you do. And if you do have questions, do not be scared to ask the directors. The ones we had were super kind to us and we really enjoyed them, so I wasn't really scared to ask them questions when I was confused on something. Disney does a really good job on picking people that will help you out instead of bringing you down. Alright, so stage one is going to be the parade march. And in the parade march, they're going to be looking at how well you can portray a character and how big your movements are to see if you're actually Disney-like. In stage two with the animation, they're going to see how well you can actually tell a story through only your movement. And occasionally your face, it depends on what they're looking for. They're also going to have the choreographed dance at the time to see how much you can pick up in a short amount of time.
At the time, they're also going to see if you're focused. They wouldn't really want someone that instead of focusing would talk to their friends besides them instead of like actually learning how to work, you know. And after that's all wrapped up, there is a secret third round. I wouldn't really call it a secret third round, but there is a third round that not a lot of people know about because only a few people get invited back. Some of the third round is going to be just for measurements to see how you measure up in costumes. There's also another section of stage 3 where there's going to be people that are given different lines to read from characters in the park to see if their voice might match up a little bit to a character that they're thinking about putting them in case they wanted to be a face character. Also, this audition will take up from anywhere to 2 hours for you to like 5. I think for me it took me 4.5 hours before we were done fully. But yeah, so make sure that your movements are big, practice on being big, and any way that you can practice like choreography and getting ready for that, that's also going to be really big. If you guys do have any more questions for me that you guys want answered about character auditions, you can just leave them in the comments for me. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I hope you did like this video. If you did, press the like button. If you found it helpful, please comment down, let me know. I appreciate it a lot. If you like me, please subscribe. I wish you best of luck at your audition. I know you're going to do great. And make sure you seize the day. Alright friends, have a good one. Bye-bye.